Hello everyone, and welcome to today's Minutes Network AMA. My name is Matthew Walsh and I'll be your host for this session. Before we begin, I would like to say thank you for taking the time to join us. Whether you're a long-standing community member or just beginning your journey with us, your presence is sincerely appreciated. This is an especially exciting time for Minutes Network behind the scenes. We've been working relentlessly on multiple fronts, from expanding internationally to strengthening our global partnerships. Continuing a period of significant momentum, today's AMA provides you with a direct window into the progress and developments taking place behind the scenes. I'm joined today by our Chief Executive Officer, Josh Watkins, who will be sharing key updates on Minutes Network and answering your questions. Towards the end of the session, live questions will be taken from the audience. There is plenty to cover, so without further ado, let's begin. Josh, over to you.
Thank you very much, Matthew. Thank you for the warm introduction and a warm welcome to the audience in today's Minutes Network event. It's an absolute pleasure to be here as always. During today's event, I'll be providing a series of updates on progress across the network. Questions from social media will be answered, as Matthew previously said, and live questions from the audience are welcomed as always. I'll begin by stating that the purchasing of MMTX from the open market has begun. The algorithm is running. It's in its first month, and we are carefully monitoring it. We can expect more detailed statistics to be released from our team responsible for the algorithm as time progresses. It's been a busy time with a great deal of attention on the Jingle plugin, our SDK. We held 2 successful events in Kingston, Jamaica, amongst other digital events, all of which led to increased awareness and, more importantly, the signing up of more than 250 integrations in the country from application owners and developers. This type of integration and utilization of Jingle's technologies play a key role in the growth of our network. Let me explain in some more detail. Each application that integrates with Jingle consequently provides our network with more reachable users by design. Again, each user of any integrated application becomes a reachable endpoint for us. We bridge regular traditional telephone calls from Tier 1 and Tier 2 operators directly to these endpoints that we create, with no middlemen at the cost of only bandwidth. However, we are paid per second of telephone call connection time by the Tier 1 and Tier 2 operators. Integrated applications share up to 50% of the revenue generated as an incentive to integrate with no disruption to the user experience of the application. And we have Jingle exhibitions scheduled in all of our key markets, such as Albania, the Philippines, Nigeria, and more countries, where we expect to see additional sign-up requests leading to further scale of our network. These events will be later detailed on the milestone map. The Jingle demonstration application was approved on the Play Store and is pending an update as we speak. The Jingle website is due to be updated for those who would like to demonstrate the Jingle plugin, and we are in various stages of integration with applications totaling billions of users combined, not limited to, but including SEW. We see a network with billions of reachable users ahead. And I would like to add to that. We have almost reached our target user threshold for smaller application integrations in various countries. An example would be Kosovo, and you can expect the country to be live on the Explorer shortly. In a separate effort, which will be further detailed on our milestone map and in announcements that will come ahead, several large musicians and influencers have expressed interest in generating revenues from their own telecommunications network powered by Minutes Network and Jingle's technologies. The Minutes Network website is due to be updated. Amongst various components of the update, we have a particular focus on detailing all of our offerings and value-added services and the different initiatives being deployed across our network to drive scale. An SMS readily implementable toolkit will also be available from the website, with 3 steps to account creation and integration within any application or website as a wholesale market proposition. Our rates are incomparable to current market rates and offers. As Unity gears up for its public release, I would like to say that we have a new Unity licensee on board. More information is also set to be released in future announcements. We've concluded the testing of our API, which you can expect to be released in an up-and-coming announcement later this week. The API is a component of the utilities powering the Minutes Network Analytics Suite, which will shortly enable deep insights that are explorable via the Explorer, and the Token team are set to implement their version of this within the Token portal in the next update that rolls out. Several new key telecommunication partnerships and interconnections have been made over the last weeks and months. You can expect to see news on this in the near future, and our team is expanding. New team members are due to be announced in the commercial field with a primary focus on the integration of additional applications into the network for scale. We have also expanded our telecommunications team with an eye to the traffic that will be onboarded into the network in the near future. The roadmap is due to be updated. We'll be marking off milestones achieved and creating new milestones relating to today's discussion. We can expect to see the milestone-based roadmap updating on a monthly cadence. Now, they say, last but not least for these updates, we have the details set in stone on multiple paths to major scale ahead. The onboarding of our technologies in one of the world's largest countries under a brand new scale-driven country-level initiative for Jingle is underway. This is the first of many countries that will be powered by this initiative, and we can expect the onboarding of this type of scale and this type of initiative to be fast with major consistent growth. You will see this production traffic reflect on the Explorer this side of July, beginning even as soon as tomorrow. More information on scale in this particular country itself, and separately, details on expected scale in additional countries under this new Jingle plugin powered initiative will be deployed on our map of milestones, followed by an additional communication event and announcements up ahead. Matthew, I'll hand back over to you. Let's begin to provide answers to the questions from the social media platforms.
Thank you, Josh, for the detailed updates. It's clear that a great deal of progress is being made across the board, and we appreciate you taking the time to walk us through it all. Now, let's turn our attention to the community questions that have been submitted. Our first question is from PW8595. Is there any advantage/disadvantage to hosting your own node with your own hardware and Node GUI access versus a managed solution?
No, there is no disadvantage or advantage. Details regarding the hosting of your node will be communicated by the Token team.
The second question is, with all the onboarding integration taking place, is there an estimate of the monthly minutes net revenue by the end of the year?
Well, we are a dynamic network and we are still building, so we cannot give you a prediction at this time.
Ibis Nodes is asking, will there be a note or guide on the returning a self-hosted node to M&G control?
From what I've seen, it's not complex. You can select whether the node is self-hosted or not. I'm not expecting it to be complex. However, I'm sure this information will be provided.
We have a question from Grogu. It's quite a large question. So will the amount in an epoch be used as buybacks for that month, or there will be instances that the whole amount won't be used due to reasons? If the reason is because it might cause a spike in price, then the whole let the market dictate the price, which was mentioned, is false. And also, it will make epoch income useless since it's for that epoch, not other epochs. Can you elaborate more on this matter?
Yes, the algorithm used to purchase tokens is a dynamic algorithm. It's self-managing. More information on how the algorithm functions and its management of the purchases is set to be released, and we are keeping a close eye on this new algorithm and its progress in the meantime.
Thank you, Josh. The community member Dodo has a series of questions also. Will we be able to track how fiat has been used for buybacks? It would be nice to have different values, such as the total amount of fiat received from the carriers, the amount available for buybacks in the current epoch, the amount already spent in the current epoch, and also the amount left to spend in the current epoch.
Definitely. We'll provide an update on the purchases component of the Explorer in the next Explorer update that gets rolled out. When will that be? I'm not sure. I can't give you a date, but it's not going to be weeks. We will also ensure to detail the information you requested. Thank you very much for the feedback.
Super. Our next question is from Kaylee. You have previously stated no hurdles, but isn't the obvious delay in monetization a hurdle?
Well, we don't really see the time taken to scale as a hurdle. And in our modus operandi, we have no single point of failure with multiple paths to scale and success in hand. We have not seen any hurdles as yet. I will let you know if we encounter any hurdles. We are not expecting any hurdles. Our technology is easily integratable, not just on an application level, but also on a country and carrier level. And we are making significant progress in everything that we are doing in terms of onboarding users into our network. We're very happy with the progress, and we don't see, a hurdle ahead.
We have 3 questions now from Jules123. Please, can we have an update on the patents submitted?
Absolutely. I'm proud to say that we're using a new type of patenting technology presented by our General Counsel, Tarwinder Singh. I'm sure more information will be released on this topic in the future. I am not able to communicate more on this technology at this time.
So Josh, with that new technology, will the patents be submitted in multiple countries and regions?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And the final question is, have any patents been approved?
Yes, we do own a few approved patents as of now. And as I said, our General Counsel will make an announcement on this in the near future. I'm not sure which details I'm able to provide on this today.
Something I'm personally excited about is the Asia expansion. So Toaster is asking, would the July 20th Asia expansion initially be for SMS or minutes or both?
It will cover initially voice, and we will proceed to cover SMS. The expansion type of MFC expansion, Flexible Connect, it is compatible with both voice and SMS, but the initial expansion will cover voice.
Deepin has some questions around buybacks. What percentage range of available buyback funds are expected to be used during the epoch?
The algorithmic purchasing robot that we are using is self-determining. I can't give you an accurate number on that at this time. I believe with the release of more statistics and more information, you will be able to understand where this algorithm is heading and how.
Deepins also asks, currently we only know the total revenue, but we don't know the amount cleared and available for buybacks. Will this information be provided?
In the next update to the Explorer, this information will be provided with a lot more details on how much has been bought, what's available to buy with, and all of the previously answered information.
Thank you, Josh. And also, Epoch 1 so far is using fewer funds than expected. Is Epoch 1 a special case in that the pool of available funds is only partially funded, or are the smart contract buyback parameters set conservatively for this epoch? And if so, are they planned to be adjusted?
So I know that the algorithm is also self-adjusting. We need to take into account that most billing cycles are 7/1. That means every Monday that the invoice is cleared. We also do have 30-day invoicing as well, and we are looking at some different tier 1 operators offering 60-day invoicing. That being said, all of the details requested will be available on the Explorer in the next update.
There's an additional question here from Backfire regarding the buybacks. Is the full amount that is left on the counter for Epoch 1 meant to be fully bought back before the 25th of July to distribute Epoch 1 rewards on the 25th of July, Or is there a delay in the timing of the buybacks? It was supposed to be before the epoch distribution, and does this mean the counter is particularly useless?
No, the counter is not useless. The counter is there to show the amount owed towards the DeepIn service fees. And I believe that once you have a broken down version of the information that's upcoming to look at on the Explorer, I believe that a lot of these questions will be self-answered. We do expect the algorithm to pick up, and we do expect it to drop off. It really depends on its own state. The algorithm has a state, and we look forward to sharing more information on this in the near future. It has only been running for a short time now, and we are keeping an extremely close eye on it.
I see that the buybacks there's quite a few questions here around that. So the next one comes from Mark Say from Titan. Since Minutes Network does the buybacks, I assume they set the parameters to the algo. What determines how aggressive it is for buybacks? Why would you not use everything earned in an epoch for buybacks, since those staked in that epoch earned those rewards? Also, is there a percent of available funds set as a goal to use? And if so, what determines that? Additionally, is the team trying not to cause too much price action with buybacks so that algo is using less? And couldn't that be considered price manipulation instead of simply using everything available in the epoch?
We do not control the price. We have nothing to do with the price. We are simply purchasing tokens to be used to pay for DeepIn services as fees. I understand your question, but it's very important that you understand that we do not control the price. The algorithm is self-determining. It's almost aware. And I think we should just watch and see how this algorithm plays out. That's
Josh,
what just to reiterate there, Matthew, that's what we are doing as a company. We're watching very closely, and we are monitoring the algorithm and its purchases, and we will act as we see necessary in the future. And if we do decide to change something, we will communicate that.
Okay, and Josh, could you reaffirm for the community member Frost that the scaling in traffic from Asian countries is still on track for the 20th of July?
Yes, absolutely. It'll be live before the 20th of July. And this is a very exciting expansion. It's a very exciting innovation. I did sort of, explain in the initial update that I gave. You will see lots of news about this expansion. This is not the only country that we're going to be running this initiative in. And we are currently talking to a large amount of tier 1 carriers across the globe in order to implement this version of Jingle into the country level traffic in the countries.
Thank you, Josh. We have another great question from the community. Could you clarify what stakers during the epoch are earning? It seems the revenue generated during the epoch should be what they are earning. So it's hard to understand why the algo wouldn't use or try hard to use all that's earned for those stakers in that epoch.
I think I need to refer that to the up and coming token AMA. So if you could kindly save that question, we'll get Mark to answer that one very soon.
Fantastic. I think the whole community are looking forward to the next token AMA. So Deepins has another question here. How is the SEW integration going? And also, when will the feature for live updates on app integrations be rolled out?
The SEW integration is going fantastically. We are pushing ahead. Everything is to plan. Ideally, it would conclude sooner rather than later, and we are expecting it to be a massive success for us. As with the other applications that we have integrating in their various states, they are all near to conclusion. And we have a large number of applications in addition to these applications already mentioned that are currently signing up and in the process of integrating our technologies. If I could tell you some of the names, I think we'd all be jumping up and down, but I'm not in the position to release fine details just yet. But I can tell you that we are talking to billions of users combined. Sorry, talking about billions of users combined.
Nico is asking, is Minutes Network planning to integrate with any deep-in analytics platforms like Token Terminal, DeFi Llama, or similar tools, so that the performance and metrics can be transparently compared with other deep-in projects?
Most definitely. And as Minutes Network, we are here to cooperate and ensure that that integration goes perfectly and to plan. Our new Minutes Network Analytics Suite and our API that's just about to be released will also come into play, and they will be available shortly. I know that the Token team is already making headway on integrating with such services. I think we just need to wait for an announcement on that.
Nico also has some questions around the Unity node. The first one is, can you tell us more about the latest concluded final beta test phase of Unity nodes? How extensive was this test? Did it include hardware nodes as well?
Yes, it did include hardware. Unity is software that's made to be run on hardware. It was extremely conclusive. We took more than a year to test and deploy. Very big success for us as a network. This has obviously never been done before. Handheld reward mining is not something that is particularly common, especially on the level that we are talking. We do have a new licensee, and we are very proud of what we've built, and we're looking forward to the release.
Josh, could you tell us more about the hardware for Unity nodes?
Yes, absolutely. It runs on several different types of hardware. Some seem to perform a little bit better than others. We will obviously be recommending the hardware that performs the best in our lab and real-world tests with the release of Unity.
Nico is also asking, when I purchase them, do I need to run them locally, or is the physical node sent to me? Or can I be a remote owner and let Minutes Network operate them? Also, what would be required to operate them? How difficult is it to operate for a non-tech user?
It's an extremely easy application to operate. There are only a few buttons. Everything is self-explanatory. There are also guides, video guides, FAQs. There's an AI-based chatbot as well to assist in the deployment. You can be a remote operator. You can also be a physical hardware device owner. We support various models that can be ran successfully, and we have tested them all.
Thank you, Josh. Unity is exciting. I cannot wait personally for the release. So the next question comes from the community member, Safe via Trident. The team is creating great APIs for chain metrics, but the revenue side seems like a black hole. I was really excited that buybacks would spend enough on the funds available there, wouldn't be a ton in reserves. Now that it seems that Algo stalls for price deviation, it also presents there could be a large amount waiting to be used. Are those funds stored in the bank, and could we set up a weekly attestation by a reputable firm to verify funds, just like we have the easily verifiable on the chain side?
Yes, we could set up a weekly attestation by a reputable firm, and this is something that we could look into. I think it's good feedback. We'll have a look into this and we'll let you know.
Brilliant, brilliant. Now we have a series of questions from Dodo. How many monetized users do currently contribute to the 100K daily minutes from Bangladesh?
We are preparing a report to be released on Bangladesh. I would not like to release information on that report at the moment, but we will be releasing a case study on the country, and we will be scaling in Bangladesh. You can expect Bangladesh to see some pretty big scaling in the near future. In my opinion, and it is in my opinion, Bangladesh has been a wonderful test case of our technologies, and we are ready to expand.
We will move on now to a question from Dumi. The MN Explorer displays accumulated service fees. That number seems to go up by small amounts every minute. Can you elaborate on how it can go up so frequently? More specifically, can you elaborate on how often MN sends and receives invoices? Are you invoicing by the minute, the call, the hour, the day? I'm sure it's different per country, but can you give a brief example? Furthermore, I'm aware you charge per minute, and I'm also aware some carriers pay up to 30 days later. Neither of these are what I'm asking. Just to be clear, I'm trying to figure out how often you charge and how often you are paid.
Absolutely. So let me begin with the first question there. The number goes up every second or every minute. It's polling the billing API from the Jingle servers, and the telecommunication servers, the switch nodes, the validation nodes, all take a part in that number. And that's why it goes up so frequently. It's live billing from the switches billing core. Now, more specifically, Minutes Network receives invoices on a, receives the funds to pay invoices on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly basis. And we're looking at adding a 60-day invoicing window to accept traffic from some of the larger carriers that don't settle so quickly. That is in relation to the new country level scaling that is just rolling out on the network now.
Okay, Nico has a small series here of questions. In the Token AMA on the 3rd of April, you mentioned a major app was being rolled out as we speak in terms of integration. Without giving a name, but I assume this could be SEW, can you give an update where and with?
Yes, we are expecting a lot of different applications from across the board to go live. We have done a very good job in incentivizing the onboarding of the Jingle technologies in the sense of applications coming on board. And I think we're seeing that roll out as we speak in terms of integration. Now, just to give you some sort of further insight on that as it stands, I think every week we receive 2 to 3 new applications inbound. There is an integration queue that's currently in process, and the integration of these applications are in various states. We will attempt to detail the exact state of integration in a data sheet that will be available from the Minutes Network website in the near future. The particular application that I was talking about in April is not SEW. It's an additional application that we have not released the name of yet. It's in the final states of integration. We really are on the cusp of something absolutely massive in terms of the Jingle technologies integrations across the board.
Really exciting stuff, really. Can we get an update on the MNAS milestone that was set for the end of June?
Yes, absolutely. The actual analytics suite engine is ready. Everything is working as planned. It's been tested. It's currently being deployed by our team on the Explorer. You'll be able to explore deeper insights when looking at the Explorer in the near future. And I know that the Token team are also implementing components from the suite of technologies that we've built and the API that's due to be released inside the Token portal so that node stakers can actually see the details behind their nodes and the traffic that's running.
And Nico also asks, can we have some more transparency on the milestones? Often, the estimated date of completion comes and goes with no update. Many in the community are eagerly await for those milestones, and it'd be great to know what's happening with the milestones, good or bad, whether it's been completed, delayed, or cancelled.
So as I previously said, we're looking to update the milestone map on a monthly cadence, so on a monthly basis. As it stands, we've completed all of the milestones that have been posted. There have not been any delays. Some of the milestones have been completed earlier than posted, and we intend to keep that trajectory.
Brilliant. Now we will move over to the question from Valhalla Node. In the article from The Gleaner in Jamaica, it's mentioned that 100% of the revenue generated by outgoing calls goes to the app creator, and it's split 50-50 for incoming calls. Can you please elaborate on what this means exactly and what impact it has on revenue that's shared with node owners and stakers? It was previously mentioned in AMAs that apps got up to 50%.
Applications do receive up to 50% indeed. I think it was a mistake in the article. They are referring to an outbound calling option that's recently been added to what's called the Creators Program. That indeed is again up to 50% of the revenue. At no point do we share 100% of the revenue generated by outgoing calls.
CR11 is asking, can you roughly say how many users are currently being monetized out of the 34 million users onboarded?
Those users are not yet monetized. They are due to be monetized, and there is actually a lot more than 34 million onboarded now. Over the next few days, you will see the user count tick up and the monetized user count tick up as well.
Thank you, Josh. Caleb is asking, has any company decided to scale this month?
Yes, we have had a new application that our sales team has been talking to in quite some detail, and that application is just about to move ahead, as well as the finalization of the country level scaling that I previously mentioned. We have not released much information on that to date. There will be a lot of information released on that, not just from us, but also from the carriers in the near future.
So we'll move on now to a question from Paul. Josh, you've previously answered this, but for further clarification around the Epoch One rewards, is the full revenue displayed so far on the Explorer? Will this be used before the Epoch ends? And if there is a reason it is not all been used yet?
Yes, the full revenue is displayed on the Explorer. The agreed components of the buy algorithm is in place and everything is running correctly. We are monitoring with a close eye. We are very interested in the amount of revenue that's used, and we will provide updates on that as well as additional statistics for you to be able to be provided with further insight on this topic as soon as possible. There will be an update made to the Explorer with the requested details by the community member Dodo, I think it was, earlier in this AMA.
Fantastic. We're coming down now to say the last 5 questions. So you in the live audience, please do prepare your questions as the live session will start after the community questions. So CR11 is asking, please can you share any projections of revenue for the future?
We can't share revenue projections today. We are a dynamic network and we are building. If I give you a revenue prediction at this time, it won't reflect tomorrow's revenues. We're extremely dynamic in the sense that we have applications on the cusp of integration that can provide billions of users to our network, which dramatically and substantially changes things overnight. Scale is imminent, and that's all the information I can provide you on this question at this time.
Josh, with the emerging popularity of satellite to cell calling and SMS, are these networks compatible with Minutes Network? And if so, have the large players in the space showed any interest in doing business?
It's an interesting question. It's something that relates back to World Mobile. I am not in the position to release any more information on this question at this time, but it's something that we're looking at. Satellite numbers are extremely expensive. Carrier rates are upwards of $1 or $2 per minute. And it is an interesting sector in the market, but it's not our core focus. That doesn't mean we won't be doing anything in that area of telecommunications in the future. But today, I'm not in the position to give you more information on this question.
We are now down to the last two questions from the social media channels. It comes from Deepins. With over 250 applications from the recent event in Jamaica and the active scheduling for integrations, can you provide a conservative estimate on when we will see Jamaica live on the Explorer with production level traffic?
We are currently working full time to ensure that the Jamaica integrations take place as soon as possible. We're doing, over hours, I would say. A lot of the team members, I'm very grateful to the team members. We have a fantastic team. Everybody's working very hard on ensuring that Jamaica is brought online as soon as possible. We are in talks and in various stages of integration with these applications, and we will release more information as soon as it's available.
And the final question, can you elaborate on the Mintech Flexible Connect milestone? What is it and what can we expect? And is it on track for July the 20th?
It is absolutely on track, and we are going to deliver early on this milestone, as we have done on previous milestones. The MFC is a wonderful piece of technology. It allows calls from the PSTN, from the Public Switching Telephony Network, to connect digitally, not only in the traditional and legacy path, which ensures that Jingle technologies can be inserted into the call flow, providing us 100% revenue capture on those calls terminated. It is an extremely big milestone for us internally. We are very proud of what we've done. We're very excited for what will be. And I can tell you that, that there are multiple countries lined up for expansion using these technologies.
Thank you, Josh, for sharing updates and answering all those community questions. What we're building at Minutes Network is bigger than just telecom. We know where we are heading and we know who's coming with us. If you're here now, you're early. You're part of something that's gaining unstoppable momentum. We're not just changing telecom, we're redefining what's possible when innovation and execution come together at scale.
Wonderful, Matthew. Thank you so much for reading those questions. Very much appreciated. And thank you to all of the members on social media that actually asked those questions as well. I'm sure the answers, or I hope the answers, are very helpful to the community listening. If there are any members of today's Spaces event that would like to bring any thoughts or questions to the stage, if you could kindly request to speak, that would be wonderful. I did see Callus Bling sending a request earlier, but I don't see it anymore. Just a second. So we have Crypto Val and we have Callus Bling with the microphone. Hi, Crypto Val, how are you?
Hello, Josh. Good afternoon. I thought Carlos wanted first, so Carlos, you go, man. Oh, maybe not. Well, in that case, I'll just ask my question because can you guys still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
Yeah.
perfectly.
Okay, Josh. I do have a question. So, I'm not gonna ask you the same questions. Well, the live questions have been answered. So, I am curious. Well, in like about 3 weeks, we are going to be, or you're going to be at Rare Evo, together with World Mobile, Nuvola, and so on. Well, as we know on Rare Evo, because we have only been talking about the telecom part of it. I know I'm always very interested in the crypto part of it. Rare Evo is crypto event. It has nothing to do with telecom. Um, are we do have people there like Benjamin from he's the CEO from from eGold, from we do have Ada in there. Are we do we have any plans on talking to those guys to see when we are going to be available on Ada or eGold or any other kind of pairs than just Ethereum? Could you,
So it is an interesting question, and I know that Mark has been deliberating on multi-chain for some time now, and sort of talking with the internal team. I think it's best to wait for the MNT AMA, which is coming up, to have those questions answered at this point.
okay, right. Thank you.
I
That
know
was
that there are
actually, yeah.
Yes, I know that there are plans that have been discussed leading to multi-chain availability of MNTX, but I'm just not in the position to give you more information on this at this time.
Yeah, thank you. We'll just wait on Mark on that one.
Thank you
Okay.
for the
Thank you.
questions, CryptoVal. And yes, indeed, I will be at Rare Evo. I'm looking forward to meeting some of the members of the community when I'm there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can indeed. Callus, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having this AMA. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So most of my questions I just wrote down from based on your updates or other questions that I didn't think the answer maybe wasn't clear. The question was like a bit misunderstood. So I have a list of them here. So bear with me as we go through them. And I appreciate any answer. Just for I know the buybacks were a big topic today. And hopefully we can just get some more clarity here. Uh, Regarding the algorithmic bot, is this a automatic or is it like a hybrid where an algorithm is telling someone to buy and then it's buying, or is it completely automatic? We've had some speculation in the community on that, and I'm just trying to get a clear answer from you guys.
So it's completely automatic and it's triggered by conditions. The conditions are built in and it's sort of self-managing.
Okay, so it's a built-in condition that's self-managing. And will you eventually be able to share some of those conditions, or is that sort of kind of like a you can't share it for legal reasons? What would you say?
We will share more information as
Yep.
requested. I recall Dodo's question requesting more information on the Explorer so that you can sort of judge the scenario, briefly from a brief look, right? So we'll be sharing more information, more detailed statistics. Whether the conditions will be shared, I don't know which of the conditions can and can't be shared. So as soon as a release is made available for that, it will be released by the team.
Excellent. Appreciate that. Continuing on the algorithmic by the conditions, do you guys update these fairly often, or is it just, more of like a once a month type of thing? Is what are your
As
plans
far
with
as I'm
that?
aware, we haven't had to update the conditions at all just yet. If we do make such an update, there will be an announcement, and we haven't had to actually intervene at all at this point.
Okay. We really do appreciate those answers and the clarity. And finally, I know there's a lot of questions that you've already answered on this, and so I'm just gonna, get another one in here. There's been a lot of talk about, epochs and the buyback. Is the buyback tethered to the epoch at all? Is there does the algorithm take into account epochs at all? If you could answer that. Or is it just kind of a
It takes
continuous stream?
It is a continuous stream, and it's a continuous stream that takes into account the amount owed in DePIN service fees. So in a way that is, related to the epoch. It doesn't understand what an epoch is. It understands that it owes service fees, and it understands that it needs to make purchases to pay those service fees. I do expect I do expect that the details released will clear up any confusion or any questions over the algorithm itself. And perhaps in the next event, I will be more equipped to talk about the integrals and internals of the algorithm itself as well.
Awesome. No, we appreciate it, and I'm just trying to, I'm in chat a lot talking to people, and these are some of the questions that kind of come up over and over again. So I'm just trying to, ask them maybe in another way that we can get some more clarity. So I do appreciate that. Switching gears now, you talked about, adding users. Um, do you guys have a projected value per user at all? Like on your end, do you kind of
It really depends on the country. We know that the average call duration of the type of traffic that we are terminating is anywhere between 3 and 12 minutes, depending if it's a calling card or retail traffic or tier one voice. There are a lot of different factors involved. And because of the rate varies from country to country so massively, we're currently unable to give you an average revenue expectation per user. In the near future, as we scale in additional countries, that is something that we will find out, right? That's something that we will know for certain, at which point we will be able to release numbers on this.
Perfect. That's appreciated. You also keep mentioning tier one and tier two network providers. What is the difference between those two? And I'm just for my own clarity.
A tier one operator is typically an operator that has a large amount of retail customers and that owns a mobile network operating license. A tier two operator might be an owner of an MVNO, a virtual mobile operator, and it could be that they are slightly smaller than the average, legacy tier one operator. The tier ones are the household brands. They are the guys that supply our SIM cards across the globe, and they are the guys that provide our data and calling services currently.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for that.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned earlier that Jingo was approved or almost approved on the Play Store. Um, was that its own standalone app? Like what was it specifically approved?
It is approved, and we just submitted an update on the 11th of July
Okay.
to be approved, hopefully today. It is a standalone application. It's a demonstration application, and it enables you to sort of test the functionality of the service, and it allows you to understand the voice quality we provide, the latency, the PDD, right, the post-dial delay, etc. So it's more of an engineering observation application, but it can be used, and it can be used to demonstrate the functionality.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. You also mentioned an SMS toolkit and I'm just kind of curious, is that SMS toolkit, is that something that would compete with the traditional SMS providers? I know you had said earlier that you may be in direct competition with something like Twilio. Is that the SMS toolkit that you're talking about there? Is that service?
It absolutely is. Yes, yes. So the SMS toolkit that we provides applications and websites and any kind of programmable interface. It provides them with the necessary API and components to actually reduce their run rates and burn rates on traditional SMS. And we do that with the partners that we're interconnected with today, as well as the utilization of some additional technologies like the Mintech SMS revenue turbine.
Awesome. No, appreciate that answer. Just a few more questions, and I appreciate your patience with me. Um, so we earlier in the year we had talked about a gaming company in the UK. We hadn't had an official release on that, and I'm just wondering when we can expect it, if it's still on. Is it something coming soon, or is it something that's kind of moved to the back burner?
No, it's definitely still on. It's one of the applications or companies of applications. They have multiple applications that we are unable to talk about due to an NDA in place today. We do have an agreement with this company, and it is moving forward towards finalization of the details required for integration, at which point, I mean, they have more than 1 billion users. It's an extremely large company. It's a big win for us as a network, and we are pushing them over the line, which they are willingly negotiating to cross. So it's an exciting opportunity, definitely not on the back burner. It falls under the state of the various applications in their various states of integration.
Okay, perfect. Kosovo, you said was almost ready. You're almost at the 10% threshold. Is that what I understood?
We are at the 10% threshold now. Everything looks good. We are talking with the local application partners, and we are working to onboard them as quickly as possible.
Okay, so when you say the 10% threshold, you mean like you've reached agreements with enough apps to get to the 10%, but they may not be integrated quite yet.
That is correct, yes. And the
Okay, no,
integration, the integration is already proceeding across multiple applications in Kosovo.
right. That's just good to know because, you know, the community could be like, well, then why isn't it turned on? But it's good to know that there is like a difference between the two. Um, okay, Unity testing has been done. It's all over. So are we just waiting for the launch date at this point?
Yes, we're waiting on an announcement for Unity's release.
Right. So nothing else needs to get done. It's just kind of we're at that final stretch before the actual launch.
It should not be more than a couple of weeks. Don't quote me on that, because we also have a couple of partners involved as well, i.e. World Mobile. It's a joint effort, but we're looking at a couple of weeks for the release.
Right. Okay. And then finally, I think you know, one of the statements you made earlier is that milestones have not been missed. And I know me and you know, sometimes talk via chat, which I always do appreciate, of course. And I know sometimes you say it's done, but there's nothing on the outside that the community can see other than me kind of saying, yeah, no, guys, it's done. That these milestones have been completed. And I remember, you know, the MN
Yes,
suite, the
the
analytics
MNET,
suite.
yeah.
That's still not released. It was stated to be done, and I know on that day you said it's done. It's just off for testing. So, and I get your perspective of how you say it's done, but from the community's perspective, I just want to bring up that we may not think it's done because we can't see anything and we don't hear anything, right? And so I just want to bring that up in public just to make sure that I do appreciate that you guys are doing the work and you know we do like everything you do for us, but sometimes I think some of the frustration can be that, you know, on your end it's done and it's locked away and you're like, we hit that milestone, and on our end we're still waiting for it, you know, almost 15 days later. It feels like that anyways. So I just want to bring that up. Not to attack you guys or anything. I do
But
really
that's
appreciate
okay.
the work.
We understand your point. Your point is that there is no mark of conclusion on the milestone map, so you don't know if something's done or not. That's a good point. We will take that to the team, and we will ensure that milestones that are completed are marked off as they are completed. Not only that, if we are ever to be delayed in a milestone, we will communicate that delay prior to the milestone's date, or sort of, you know, to be launched date. As it stands, we don't expect any delays. We are working ahead of time, and you know we're very happy with the progress we're making. But we will definitely reflect on your notes with the team and mark milestones off as completed as they are completed.
Awesome. I really appreciate your time, guys, today. I think the community does appreciate it as well when we get to talk to you guys directly. It's always a pleasure, and we always get a lot of great information. So thank you very much.
No, absolutely. Thank you very much for the questions. And if anybody else has any other questions and would like to come and take the microphone on the stage, you are more than welcome. I do see a question in the on social media in Telegram from Dodo, who would like his question answered. The 100K daily minutes have been stable on the same level for months now, and it feels like it's somewhat limited by design. Is there a limit, or why don't the minutes increase? There is a limit, and it's limited by the capabilities of the route that's running. It is a fantastic route. The quality is great. We've not had any complaints. We're only being asked to increase. We are working on an increase as we speak. As I previously mentioned, Bangladesh is set to increase amongst other countries coming live on the Explorer. Now, Dodo has an additional question here. What country are the 34 million onboarded users in, and what's stopping you from monetizing them? They are part of a country-level monetization program that we are currently rolling out. They are in mixed countries, and we are currently working to meet the threshold to launch in those countries. As soon as they are launched, you will know about it. It will be available on the Explorer, and we will make an announcement on this. Now, I do see an additional question from Kromanova. With illegal operators terminating calls costing the industry billions, is there anything that Minutes can do in this area to reduce losses to the industry? Absolutely there is, and this is part of the country-wide rollout that we are currently working on and scaling directly with. Our solution entirely cuts out middlemen in the process of launching, and those middlemen are the wholesalers that are running unlicensed gateways in countries, etc. So our solution is a direct threat to those illegal operators. And with the help of the telcos, we will be closing them down and the minutes will come over to Minutes Network. So as it stands, I don't see any additional questions that have not been answered. If anybody would like to come up and ask any questions live, you are more than welcome. And just to tell you that we really do appreciate your questions. It only creates further awareness and sort of further elaboration on previously communicated or not previously communicated answers. We do have a very dense FAQ that's due to be released for Minutes Network. With the website upgrade, we can also expect an AI chatbot to answer your questions as well. As you know, we take pride in our communications and we always try to answer every question that's asked. At this time in the AMA, I don't see anybody requesting to speak live, and I don't see any more questions in the group. Therefore, I think we can close here for today. The next event will be scheduled within the next 15 days, in which we will be delivering significant updates as to the scale that is about to go live on the network. All I can ask you is to watch closely as we build the world's largest telephone carrier by user base. And as you know, we're using unique, futuristic onboarding techniques without the cost of marketing. So it's a very exciting moment for us. All of the paths to scale are currently being ran as quickly as possible. And we are very optimistic for the future at Minutes Network. We wish you a lovely day, and remember that every minute does indeed count. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you next time.